Hi, it's Alissa from Maintaining Motherhood, where we talk about simplifying to enjoy life more. Today I want to talk about the subjects that we do family style in our homeschool. So first off, what is family style homeschool or family style teaching? Family style is basically where you can teach a subject to a bunch of kids at the same time, regardless of their grade level. So in our homeschool, we have grades 7, 5, 4, 2, kindergarten, and preschool. It would be really hard. I would be teaching school all day long if I was trying to do each of their subjects individually. So we've simplified as much as we can, and we try and do a lot of our subjects family style. Each of the kids has their reading, language arts, and math that are specific to their own grade level. And then we try to do our history and our science all together. And I found that it's pretty easy to do these subjects family style because every kid is going to get something different out of what you teach. Science and history can also be taught to those specific grade levels using extension activities and books, ReadAlouds, things that can really cater to the needs or the grade level or the understanding of those children. The best way that I have found to be successful with this family style and to really simplify our day is to do this family style teaching when especially the youngest kids are busy. So what we've found best is to do it during lunchtime. That signals kind of the end of our homeschool day. Everybody is contentedly munching on their food, and I can teach while everybody is nicely quiet. I wanted to kind of go over the curriculum that we use for our family style teaching. Like I said, we do history and science, and we've decided to go with the good and the beautiful for both of these. And I want to show you why I've chosen to use those, and then also show you how it works for our whole entire family. The Good and the Beautiful history, I'll just show you year one. It comes with this history book, and it's the history book is mostly black and white. The way that the history is broken up is over 4 units. Goes over ancient history, the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, the French and Indian War through the Revolutionary War, the Victorian era, the history of flight, and the Cold War era. And so instead of really going into depth over just one time period for the entire year, it kind of breaks it up into 4 different chunks. So you're doing very ancient to very modern in every single one of their courses. So for year 2, it will also go through that same thing. There are some lessons that are repeated in each course, and those, it will state it right in the book. Those are mostly ones that focus on the Constitution. There are some extension activities. There's little pictures that you can cut out. There are different activities where you can hang things in different rooms and walk around to the rooms to kind of feel like you're getting an immersive experience or a more involved experience. At the beginning of each lesson, it will show you exactly the supplies that you need for that lesson, and they're very minimal. So this is an open and go curriculum. I literally have my bookmark in here, and I'll just flip open to the page and I will read it straight from the text. The thing that my kids love the most about this history curriculum is the audiobook that comes along with it. It's a dialogue, and they go and visit their grandparents for the summer, and they learn all about the history by visiting things, by putting on plays, by listening to stories. It's so fun, and the kids really love this. And I have to say, their favorite thing to look for is the delicious food every time. Another thing that the history book comes with, it comes with a book of stories. And in this, the pictures are full color. There are also maps. There's a whole bunch of good stories that will kind of give you a narrative to the characters that it's introducing in history. I like how involved the book is, but yet how uninvolved I have to be in any lesson prep. There are read-alouds that are suggested to go along with it, and then I've also tried to really beef up our picture book supply with subjects that go along with what we're studying so that the little kids have something to go off of as well. The history curriculum also comes with this extension packet that you can print out, and there's one for the younger grades, the middle grades, and the older grades, so that you can really cater these lessons to the older kids and not just have it feel like they're not getting a full experience, but rather they can do more research reports. There's documentaries that it will suggest that they watch. So I've been really pleased with it and how I'm able to cater it to the needs of all my different age groups. And it also comes with this history game, a history board game, where it helps you to remember and memorize the facts that you've learned. It's interesting because when I first looked at it, I thought, well, this is kind of a lame game. Aren't the kids gonna realize that it's just a memorization game? They love the game and they want to play the game often. So it's just, you never know what your kids are gonna love. It's very simple, but it's very thorough in teaching them. So they've loved that. The other thing that we teach family style is science. So right now we're doing the meteorology science. And I love this because, again, it's open and go. There is kind of a lot of preparation that goes into it, but it's not anything I have to plan. You get a packet of all of the papers. They're all fully color. And then you just sit and you cut out to make the mini books. You'll cut out the vocabulary flashcards. So it takes me maybe an hour to get everything prepared, put it all in sheet protectors so that it's in a binder, so I can easily flip through it. But that's all the preparation I have to do. Also at the very beginning, we'll give you a list of all the supplies needed to do all of the experiments. What I usually do is I'll purchase all of that stuff beforehand, and then I'll just have it sitting in a box so that when it gets to that day, I can pull it right out. Oh, again, with the science, it has different suggestions at the end for the older grades to do research projects, and they can choose between like 4 different subjects usually for each lesson on research this and write a paper about it, or something like that. And sometimes we'll actually take those things and we'll just look up some YouTube videos. There are so many fun YouTube videos. Today we were learning about Bernoulli's principle. And so instead of having my 7th grader go and research that on her own, we just sat and watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and it was really fun. Again, the way that I do it during lunchtime, the kids will all sit and eat, and I'll either read the things from the science book, show them the pictures, they're all quiet, or like today we did science experiments. They sat there, then I don't have to worry about people touching hot things or having everybody crowd around and nobody being able to see, but they're all sitting alongside the table and everybody can see the science experiment with perfect vision. It's worked very well for us. Yeah, we love the Good and the Beautiful. I love how it's all outlined. I love the pictures. I love the documentaries and the YouTube videos that it refers me to. I know that they're going to be good and in-depth videos that I don't have to worry about the content of them. And also, they're not boring YouTube videos that it refers me to. So that's kind of nice, because sometimes you have to filter out through the ones that are just a lecture and the ones that are really involved for kids. The last thing that we do kind of family style in our house is ReadAlouds. I try and choose a book that's going to be kind of in the middle. It's not going to be a super in-depth book. It's not going to be a picture book, but just kind of more of a mainstream book. Also something that will kind of foster some discussion or bring up topics that maybe my kids wouldn't necessarily face, so that we can have sort of a discussion, a running discussion on these types of topics. I'll do a whole video about some of our favorite ReadAlouds because we read a ton in our family. But the way that we do ReadAlouds is at nighttime when they're all in bed. So that's kind of our motivation to get everybody in bed at night. The little ones will usually fall asleep and the older ones will stay up and listen to the story. They're a little more engaged. I've just found bedtime is a good time to do it because everybody's quiet, they're settled in. I don't have to worry about a craft that gets out of hand or people getting up or being disruptive or leaving the room or whatever, but it's a quiet time. It's a good way to end the day. Then they have something to think about while they're falling asleep. Also, I've noticed that my kids will wake up at the same time in the morning, no matter what time I put them to bed at night. So if we kind of encourage them to go to bed a little bit earlier so that they can hear a story, they're a little more motivated and I can get more sleep out of them too. So I will just sit in the hall in the middle of all of their rooms and I will read the story, and it works great for us. We are not super consistent with it. It's something I would like to be better at, but it is something that we try and do fairly consistently. At least 4 times a week we're doing our read aloud, and the kids all love it. Some of the other subjects that you could teach family style as a foreign language, we're still trying to figure out a really good Spanish curriculum. So if you know of a good one, please put a comment down below, because I would really love for our family to learn Spanish. We have done some music together as a family. All my kids do piano lessons, and some of my kids do violin lessons, but then around Christmas time we'll get out the handbells and we'll all do a little handbell choir, and we're going to try and do some recorder. That we're going to try and have them learn how to play the recorder this year. So that will be kind of more of a family style. You can also, with music, you can learn rhythms or note names or things like that, with a whole bunch of fun games to teach those skills. Basically, whenever you go on a field trip or a nature walk or anything like that, that is family style teaching. Any situation where your whole family can go, where you're not having to teach one-on-one individual principles to the different age groups, that is family style teaching. So if you think back, you're probably already doing this in your home as well. We also do our religion this way. A lot of people do like a Bible study or a scripture study. We do our scripture study every morning together as a family, where each person takes a turn reading, and then we'll discuss the principles. And again, each person is going to get something out of it based on their own level of understanding, but the discussion is there and the opportunity to learn is there. So it's worked really great for us. If you liked this video, if you have any more questions about family style teaching, if you have any other ideas of other subjects that your family has learned family style, I would love to hear about that. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like this kind of video, and subscribe to see more of what our family is doing in our homeschool. Thank you.